This old guy DIY video has to do with round 3 at the house of a hot chick that I know, where I've been working on some concrete over a culvert by a little stream. So it's Saturday morning, about 11 o'clock. Took a little while for the ibuprofen to kick in, but I'm back. And my plan today is to form this up. I have 12 bags of Quikrete remaining. I'm going to finish off this corner. I'll cut those stakes off down there, smooth this out a little bit, and hopefully that'll be it for this weekend. I'll worry about this little side at a later date. I obviously didn't bring enough concrete for that job also. It's been almost an hour. This side is pretty much done. I used 9 of the 12 bags over there. With only 3 bags left, I mixed up my last batch. I don't have enough to finish the job over here to take up some of the volume that would otherwise have to be filled with new concrete. I took some of those broken off pieces, threw them in there, and I'll just pour my mix right over the top. So there's nothing structural going on with what I'm about to pour. I was just trying to bring this edge up a little bit so it has a smoother transition to the driveway. But I'll make the last pour, we'll see how it looks, and that'll be that. The last 3 bags have been used. Over the years, I read several books that said start with the end in mind. I didn't do that in this case. I looked at the back of the trailer. I saw 3 bags of Quikrete. I thought, I'm not taking 3 bags of Quikrete with me. I'll just pile up that corner. That'll make the water run to that outside edge where it's easy to handle. And I'll worry about that some other day. So I put the last 12 bags in, only 3 bags and a bunch of remnants here in this corner. In this area that had previously looked like a badger den, ended up taking 27 bags when my initial estimate was 8. So you see, it's a good thing I don't make a living estimating concrete requirements. Let this dry for a couple days. I'll pull these forms down, cut the rebar off, grade the gravel. I think she'll be happy. As I wrap this job up, I'm thinking about the economics. And had I had more framed up and just bought an extra yard of material, it would have cost me 185 bucks. This way I bought a third of a yard in bags of Quikrete. It cost me $150. If you include the time it took me to drive and pick the stuff up and do the work itself, I have 4 hours invested in this, and aches and pains and all kinds of reasons not to do this work in the future. So based on what I learned here, next time I have to pour something of consequence, if it's going to take more than 10 bags, I'm going to frame up enough area that I can bring a concrete truck in and use however many yards he brings me. And in this case, I had used up all of my scrap wood, and I didn't want to go buy another sheet of plywood or some 2x8s. So had I just gone and spent $50 more on wood, I could have framed up enough material to take on another yard, and I would have saved myself 4 hours of work, a sore shoulder and back, and a couple $100. When I initially accepted this challenge, I looked at how this area over the culvert had previously been built. And 30 years ago, when they made this thing, they took bags of Quikrete and just stacked them on top of each other like concrete blocks. Then they either expected just water from the soil or rain to harden the concrete. Here we are 30 years later. You can see the stuff breaks away and crumbles. It almost turns into a sandstone product as opposed to a concrete product. Although I considered just stacking the Quikrete bags when this adventure started, I decided based on this look 30 years later, I would go with concrete. And today, as it starts to rain, I think I made the right choice. So thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do, and have a great day.